Tal Cohen, everybody. It's very late, man. What are you doing up?
Yeah, I'm always awake at this time, so yeah.
So, how are you and where are you?
Okay, so I'm in Australia. As you can see, you can see there's a jacket behind me. I'm improvising. Um but I came here to escape COVID and all that in March. My family's here and all that. Um so I've been here and everything's open here. Everything's totally open. I've been gigging quite a lot, and I'm even playing the jazz festival here in 3 weeks or something like that. So it actually kind of worked out for me, considering everything that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, well, that's good news. I mean, that's great. And
Think
like,
so.
there's such great musicians in Australia. I'm sure you can
Mm.
find a trio or a quartet to play with. That.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been great. I'm in Western Australia, Victoria, Queensland. They're all on lockdown, so you can't travel from one part to another of Australia. So we're only in the west part of Australia here, but there's an international jazz festival that's no longer this time it's not international. But I'm here, and Linda O, which plays bass with Pat Metheny and Fabian Almazan, are also here. So it kind of worked out that there's some international, personalities here, people here, so musicians.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's great. Well, we're talking because we want to tell people about the concert that we're broadcasting, your
so cool. I'm
2018
so
concert at
thankful.
Timucua. Yeah. So, do you remember that concert?
Of course. It was such a joyous occasion, I don't even know where to begin. I've never played in Timucua before, and we got to the venue and we looked around, and you guys have the staircase there, and we were all like, "This is gonna be the coolest gig we've ever done." It was such a positive, warm feeling, and everyone brings their own food, and I don't know, man. It was magical. Like I remember that as such a cool experience in my life.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for saying that. And of course, you played with
Oh,
Dion Kerr on bass and
mhm.
David
That's
Shiverton
right, David Chilton. Yeah.
on
It-
drums. So,
mhm.
and those are people you've known for a long time, right?
That's my trio in Miami. We've toured all around. Uh, there's such good people and such. I don't know. This trio has such chemistry in it. I feel like we're just kind of kids in the playground, and we're just kind of like, like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I don't know. We can take it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But we recorded a new album recently with that same trio. I haven't released it yet because of everything that's happened. Um, but some of the tunes on that gig at Timucua were already starting to form that album. It was kind of like in the journey, to reach that final product, and that was a good kind of like stepping stone along the way to reach the final product.
Well, that's great.
And
So, do you have an idea when you're going to release the album,
it's a
or?
good question. I think early next year will be the you know it also features Jean Kaz, who's an amazing trumpet player of Haitian heritage. So we have an Israeli Australian, African American, and Dion Kerr is just American, and a Haitian on the album. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this album. It's a multicultural kind of, and it's really funny because if I didn't move to Miami or to the States, Miami, I would have never, we wouldn't be talking right now. This wouldn't happen at all. Like, not the album, not a trumpet player of Haitian heritage, like, and now it's happening, like, so it's I always think about that. Like we wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't have met you, and like it's all it's all I don't know, what do you want to call it,
Well, some people would call it serendipity or something like that, but I
I
don't
like
think
that.
so. I
I
think
like
it's
that.
like it's kind of like the universe, like it's fate, it's like the
Yeah,
universe
yeah,
happening that
yeah. Exactly,
despite
exactly,
us, like the universe is happening.
exactly,
So,
exactly, exactly,
and so like you let it happen, things happen, like good things happen, so that's
exactly,
the way I
exactly.
see it.
I specifically remember um, we went into Timucua, and you have that room there that you do all the recording from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we at first we were like, oh cool, we're gonna get a recording. And then we walked into the room and we are like, we're actually gonna get a recording. And then you started talking about how much effort and resources you've put into this project, and it's infectious, man. Like every gig that happens there is special, and everyone just wants to come back. And you guys are booked like 21 years forward, and there's a reason for that, because you have something very special there. And I only have the most amazing things to say. We had a great time, but I specifically remember that moment when I walked into the room and I was like, this is serious. And you never know, right? You get to a venue and you've never been there, and it can go this way, it can kind of be cool, or it can go the other way. But this was like way on that way. So,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
thank you. That's what we try for. I'm still working on improving the piano. The piano is my wife's piano. It's a good instrument, but
right.
and like everything else, like in life, you have to maintain it. You have to work on it for it to get better.
Of course, of
And
course.
so I'm changing the hammers, and I'm gonna change the
Yeah.
strings again.
Yeah.
I think these strings that you played on were pretty new, the bass strings, and we
I
want
remember
to
the
change.
piano sounding fantastic. I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I changed the treble strings, right, like just a couple of months after you played. So those treble strings
Right.
are new, but now every 3 years I change the bass strings, because then
Yeah.
they're
You get it.
they're alive, and they stay alive because they changed.
See, that's what I mean. You're going to this extra. There's many venues that wouldn't do that. Um, there's many venues that would too. But it's commitment, man, and you have it. And someone told me something the other day, and they said, no one is going to be more inspired than you about your thing, right? And it's true. Like if you want to go all the way and you want to replace the piano strings and you want to do a great recording, then do it. But you have to do it. Like me, like I got to do the album, and I got to get the band, and
Yeah,
and it,
absolutely. I
and you're
I
doing it.
agree with that. And at the same time, like all the good things you're saying about your experience here, that's exactly why I do what I do. Like that's because first of all, like I'm a trumpet player mostly, so I play my own instrument in most
Right.
cases. Like I travel with my instrument. I've never had to. But in your case, that's not the case. Like you have to play what the instrument that's there.
Yeah.
Bar, like unless you're Chick Corea or like
Oh
a
yeah.
superstar
Yeah.
classical pianist,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
otherwise you play what's there, and you have to like learn the instrument and become one with the instrument as soon as
Yeah.
possible. So I think it's very important, especially in the case of the piano, but the drums and the bass too, and for me to
Of
provide like good instruments and good shape and well tuned. Like for the drums, I tune the drums like every time, like and I go and I listen on a few videos of that drummer to see, hey, how do they set up, what kind of sound they like, and I try to tune the drums like that work for the room and for the drummer, like but that's because the drummer is going to play an instrument that's foreign to him, and so same to you. So I think it's very important to try and make an extra effort to make the experience as possible for you. And the
Totally.
result,
Totally.
of course,
Totally.
is that we benefit from that because we get a better show.
Exactly.
you
It's
know
it's all an investment that comes back. Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
hopefully like you said, you're going to want to come back when you're back in the States. You're going to contact me
We
and say, hey, I'd
definitely
like
want
to
to
go
come
back.
back.
And
We've
that's
been talking
that,
about it.
yeah,
Totally.
that's
Totally.
what I want, because I want to get you back. It's a very interesting sound that you have, and a very interesting ideas that you bring to the music, and and
Yeah.
and and you bring a lot of you and your childhood and your experiences in the music, which is
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
love.
yeah.
And so it's all great. Like we all win. Like this is why we do it.
It was yeah, man. I remember if I could go back in time to that, you know, I would do it like that. I would, you know what I mean? It was such a positive time traveling and coming over there, and that's what we want to do in life, man.
Great. Well, for everyone listening, like if you want to catch that concert, Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, so it'll be pretty much 7:30 a.m. for you.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you want to go to timucua.com/events to find the video, or you can go to youtube.com/Timucua Arts, or on our Facebook page at Timucua Arts Foundation. So you can find us. There's 3 different places to find us. Very easy. And all the donations that we get, we're gonna send to you. And so to support the musicians, it's been a very hard year for everybody. It's been a hard year for us, but we've been lucky enough to have all of these great recordings from the past that we can broadcast for everyone to stay in it.
What?
And
What? I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
What a wow! I didn't
yeah.
think about it.
Yeah. So what I
Wow.
did right off the bat in early March when we got the lockdown, I for 2 weeks I played a past concert every day, and then after that we went to twice a week. So since then, like in essentially like April 1st to now, it's been 2 concerts a week, 2 interviews a week, the trailers 2 a week. So like
Oh,
we keep our audience engaged as much as we can, and
fantastic.
they get like good concerts, and we're growing our audience thanks to that. So it's been a blessing for
It
us to have had
created,
this
yeah.
catalog.
But if you didn't go to the extra mile to have that,
Yeah, it would be a lot harder. So
a little
good
harder.
luck,
Yeah.
and I hope that the jazz festival is very successful down there,
Thank
and
you.
I hope that you stay healthy and everyone, and you can come back and
Thank
and
you,
start
my friend.
traveling again,
Thank you.
because we want to see you again. So
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Good night.
Good night.